Before we go into task 3, I was thinking that maybe just go through the key itself, because it says here, examine the information about the key you created. So you can just click on that key, which is my lab key. I'll click on it, and this is the key ID once again, key version ID actually. Then notice here, this key is an RSA type. It's it was generated through RSA algorithm. It's a 2048 byte key. That's in terms of its size. You can see the creation in the updated date. Then we have the key vault ID, of course. The key ID. Then you can set the activation date, expiration date, and right here you can set if the key is enabled or not. Something else, I think this is the point where you just set what the key is allowed to do. So we have different things that it's allowed to do. We have encryption, decryption. It can be used for signing. It can be used for verification. You can drop another key using this key, and unwrap another key, I guess, through using this key. Yeah. So I'll just close out of that. So remember, we deploy this key using the command line interface. You can as well come up with a new key using the graphical user interface. So to do that, just click on generate/import a new key, click that option, and you'll see under options you can choose to either generate or import or restore backup. So if you were to generate, you need to input the key name and then choose what type of key this would be from either RSA or EC. So EC is a elliptic curve, and these two are actually what Microsoft Azure, I think the entire service, the entire platform supports these two types of asymmetric keys, if not the key vault alone. So RSA and elliptic curve. Those are the two types of algorithms that are supported in the platform. Then as for the size, you can choose from the available options, and everything else is just almost the same. Yeah. And yeah, you can see that we have the option to set the if the key is immutable, and if the key is also exportable. But anyway, that's what I need you guys to see. So I'll just close that blade. I don't need to set up anything. I'll click OK. It's more or less the same thing, and secrets. So let's go ahead and deploy secret and just generate a secret here, although we'll be using CLI. So we need to switch back to the Cloud Shell pane. That's a Cloud Shell pane. We'd minimized it previously. So I just do CLS to clear the screen. Then in the partial session within the Cloud Shell pane, so that's under instruction number 2, run the following to create a variable with a secure string value. So this will create our secret value. So remember, I said that a secret is something that you want to protect, and how these secrets are recorded. They're recorded as a key in a key value pair way. So you'll be having a key, then the value to actually is it a name value pair? So something of that kind. But there's that pair that goes when the pair way of storing these secrets. So for instance, in our case here, we'll be having the value as password, so that will be our value. Then we'll be storing the name of this secret will be this SQL password. So I guess it's a name value pair. So like the way you can have a column that records someone's ID, and now you give the value of that ID in the adjacent column. Or maybe you are recording student details and you need the name, so you have a name column, and now in the adjacent column you record the actual value of that name. Maybe it's a first name or last name. So that's how these secrets are stored. So I'll just copy this code this will generate our key, our secret value. So I'll copy that, go back to the cloud SharePoint, and I'll just Control Shift V to paste it there. I'll wait for that code to complete, and we're good there. So I'll just hit the return key. So that will generate the value. Then we need to generate the name associated with that secret. So just copy the instruction, and I'll copy the code under instruction number 3 there. Control Shift V once again to paste it there. Wait for it to autocomplete. Once you see a cursor blinking, you're good to go. So I'll just hit the return key once again. Then the next thing to do is to you can see the note here. The name of the secret is SQL password. So don't think that this is the password. No, this is just like the way you can have a password, and you say that this is the admin password, and yeah, it's the same way. So I guess this password will be used by our SQL database in later section here. Then in the partial session within the cloud SharePoint, you run the following to verify the secret was created. So remember, you have 2 ways to confirm this: the graphical way and the CLI way. So just copy this code once again, and instruction number 4. Copy that, go back to the cloud SharePoint, Control Shift V to paste it, and I'll hit enter. Just a moment, let me see if the code is complete. Yeah, okay, vault name, so that's we're good up to that. So just hit enter, and let's review the code, the output here. So vault name, that's a vault name, sorry, and then our name for this secret is SQL password. We have no version. Then the ID is that. Yeah, so I guess everything worked out okay. We can go back to the graphical interface, and under secrets, let me try to refresh and see if we have we have an entry there. So yeah, we have an entry. After I refresh it, you can see that SQL password is here. I'll just try to review it quickly. Here's the version ID of that secret. So everything, all these objects will be having their version IDs, and then you can click on show secret value. Maybe it will show you the value of this secret right there. Let's see if that will work. Okay, yeah, whenever you click on show secret value, there's a chain that goes on here. You can just try to watch there as a toggle between hide and show secret value. So that's it. I'll just close that plate. Then you need to minimize the cloud shell. We just did that. In the Azure portal, navigate back to the keyboard blade, the objects, click secrets. The list of secrets, click SQL password entry, the SQL dot. So we have reviewed all this. We have reviewed the version ID. The secret version ID. We have reviewed it, and everything necessary. Moving forward, let's jump to exercise number 3, and that is configure an Azure SQL database in a data-driven application. So in this exercise, you will complete the following tasks. Task 1, enable a client application to access the Azure SQL database service. Task 2, create a policy allowing the application access to the key vault. Task 3, retrieve SQL Azure database ADO.NET connection tree. Task 4, log on to the Azure Virtual Machine running Visual Studio 2019 and SQL Management Studio 19. Task 5, create a table in the SQL database and select data columns for encryption. So we start off at task 1, which is enable a client application to access the Azure SQL database service. So just a little description here. In this task, you will enable a client application to access the Azure SQL database service. This will be done by setting up the required authentication and acquiring the application ID and the secret that you need to authenticate your application. So in the Azure portal, you need to search for app registrations, and then on the app registration blade you need to click on new registration. So let's just get there first. You can search for app registrations. This is it. So I'll click there. Alternatively, you can just close that. To access the same blade, you can click on the these ellipses, then go down to Microsoft Enter ID, click there. Then on this blade, you'll notice that if you just scroll down, there is the manage section. Scroll down, is this option for app registration. So click there. It's still the same point. So you can hit on this left facing arrows. They're tiny, they're right there. You can click on that to have a few view of this. So the next thing to do is just to click on new registration. So you want to register the app. Then on the register an application blade, we'll be using these values. So the name of this app will be an SQL app. Copy that, paste the name there. I'll leave everything else as default, the way it is right here. So that's the first option is selected for me. I'll leave it as default. So I'll just scroll down. Then under redirect URI, we need to do a setting there. So redirect URI, we need to select. We need to name it web. Actually, select the web option. Select web. This is it. And once you hit the drop down arrow, so start by hitting the drop down arrow, then select that web, and then I'll just copy this link. HTTPS full colon / SQL app. I'll just copy that, then I'll paste it there. So the next thing to do is just click on register. So at the bottom there, click on register. Then once the registration is completed, the browser will automatically redirect you to SQL blade. So let's wait for that. And yes, this is the SQL app blade. So in this blade, on the SQL app blade, identify the value of application or client ID. So this is it right here, application or client ID. So we need to copy this value. I'll just copy it. You need to hit on the two there's this icon next to it. Just hit click there and save it somewhere. Then you can review the content that's here just to understand what's going on there. Then on the SQL blade, identify the value. We've done that. On the SQL app blade, in the manage section, click certificates and secrets. Then on the SQL certificates and secret blade, so we need to click on new client certificate, add a new client certificate. So manage is the manage section on the left side here. So we need to search for certificates and secrets. This is it. Sorry, right here. After that, we need to go down to add new secret, client secret. So click that. Before we go there, you can just read here that a secret string that the application uses to prove its identity when requesting a token also can be referred to as application password. So this is what is actually called, this entire process is called application registration. We'll just be creating a service principal out of this application. So this is the entire process. I'll just click now the new client secret. Then we need to add we need to use these values. So description is going to be Q1, and expiry is going to be in 12 months. So I'll just copy that description, Q1. I'll paste it there under description. Then expiry is going to be 12 months. I'll look for it here. So 12 months, that's 1 year. I'll select that, then click add. Then on the SQL app certificate blade, identify the value of Q1. So we need to record this value because we'll be needing that value later. So take note of this. Make sure you copy the value before you navigate away from the blade. Once you do, that is, once you navigate away, it is no longer possible to retrieve its clear text value. So let's go there. This is the value itself. You can see the key here. We have the key column, then the value that we need to copy. This is it. So I'll just click on this icon once again to copy it. In fact, I think I'll copy everything. So let's see what we need to copy. Copy the value. So I'll just copy this value, copy that, and I'll say Q1 value. Paste it there. And I don't think we need this secret ID, but I'll just copy it just in case. I'll say secret ID. Paste it there. Okay. So maybe just to try it out, I'll navigate away and try to review it once again. Let's see, it's still there. So yeah, it's still there. So let me just try to close this, and I'll refresh here. All applications. Let's see if we have something there. We have this SQL app. Click on that, go down to certificates and secrets. I think it's still there. Yeah, this is it still. So anyway, then next thing to do will be on task 2, create a policy allowing the application access to the key vault. So in this task, you will grant the newly registered app permission to access secrets stored in the key vault. So the first task, task 1 here, it's about creating that application and registering it so that it can be authenticated. Then after authentication, it needs to be authorized. So that's what we'll be doing under task 2, just creating some permission for it. So in the Azure portal, open a PowerShell session in the Cloud Shell pane. Then we need to, in the PowerShell session within the Cloud Shell pane, run the following to create a variable storing the application ID you recorded in the previous task. Replace the Azure ID application ID placeholder with the value of the application client ID. So I'll just go to the PowerShell first, open it, then I'll do CLS to clear everything on that screen. Then I'll copy this code using the icon there, click on it, copy. Then I'll go back to my text editor here. I'll just paste in the code, and then I don't need to edit this with the value of the key, with the value of this key. So I'll just copy that value and input it here. So note that I still have the single quotes at the beginning and at the end of this key value. So be keen on that. Then now I can just copy this entire line. Since I don't need to keep it there, I'll just Control X to cut it from there. Then I'll go into the Cloud Shell, Control Shift V to paste it there. So this will get the application ID and store it as a variable. Then after that, in the PowerShell session within the Cloud Shell pane, run the following to create a variable storing the key vault name. So it's not, we don't need to do any changes here. I'll just copy the code itself and instruction number 4, and this will get the value of our key vault name. So Control Shift V for that. Then I'll hit enter at this point. And yes, that's our key vault name. Then in the PowerShell session within the Cloud Shell pane, run the following to grant permission on the key vault to the application you registered in the previous task. So let's just copy this code. It's quite a lengthy one. Then I'll just paste it here. It's quite a long code. So this will just use the access policy to set the permission for this application, for this specific application that you came up with. So yeah, let me just click on return key or enter. I'll leave it to run. Then from this point we can just close the PowerShell. So it seems to be running into an error here. It seems like I made a mistake here because I ran into an error set. You can see that it says here set Azure key vault policy that cannot find this object ID. This is not the object ID. It seems like I made a mistake, so let me correct that. So I'll just start over the process once again. I'll minimize the PowerShell. So this is actually I think this is the application ID because I'm doing this for the first time. That's the application ID that we need. So I'll just highlight and copy it. Copy that. Then save it somewhere. I'll just by the way, we had it all along, so I just forgot to name it. I'll name this let's say app itself, SQL app. So I'll just say SQL app ID. I made a mistake there. So I'll go back to instruction and step 3 here to copy once again the variable for application ID and edit it. Sorry. So copy that code and paste it here. Then I'll just copy this, since this is the ID, I'll copy it. Then I'll replace this entire line with entire portion with it. Remember to have a quotes. Then I'll just cut this now. If you don't recorded it, this is it. This is the application ID. Yeah. So I'll open PowerShell once again. Clear the content on screen. Paste the application ID once again. I hope it will overwrite the previous one. Then what I'm looking for is this command, Azure, the key vault name, or you can just go back to step number 4 and copy the entire code. So there's no need to use that. So hit Control Shift V to paste it there. keyword name. So this will just confirm for us the keyword name. Then it's now time to grant permission to this SQL app. So I'll just copy the code under instruction number 5 here. I'll copy this code and paste it here. I hope it will work this time. Okay, I'll give it a moment. Yeah, it seems to have worked okay, because we didn't get an error there. So the next thing, we are just supposed to close the Cloud Shell pane. I can actually just minimize it, because maybe we'll be going back to it. Task number 3, retrieve SQL Azure database, ADO.NET connection string. So we can, the connection string is something, is just it's like a key that you can use to make access to the database. So that's one of the ways to make access to the database. So it says here that the ARM template deployment in XSS1 provided an Azure SQL Server instance in an Azure SQL database named medical. You will update the empty database resource with a new table structure and select data columns for encryption. So that lets you know that the database is empty. It doesn't have, it seems not to be having any schema inside it. So we need to do that. So in the portal, we need to search for SQL databases. I'll search for SQL databases. And this is the option, SQL databases. So this is our logical server for the this is our SQL logical server for the database. Every other database will be inside this SQL logical server. Then in the list of SQL databases, click the medical entry. So it says here that note, if the database cannot be found, this likely means the deployment you initiated in XSS1 has not completed yet. You can validate this by browsing to the Azure resource group, the AZ500-Lab10, or the name you chose earlier, and selecting deployments from the settings pane. So maybe just to show you, you can go back to your resource group. So this is a shortcut to the resource groups. Where is that? Resource group is right here. And click the resource group that you're working with. If that is in case you renamed it differently. I mean, you named the resource group different from what the lab instructed. Then once you get there, you need to go down to the settings pane and select deployment. So this should show you if there's any if your database is here, because if there's anything pending, I think, because for us I don't see anything pending, so I can just go back to the database. So I'll click on that link and this entry. I'll click on that logical SQL server. Then on the SQL database blade, in the settings section, click connection strings. So connection strings, this is it. And the one that we need to get, I think this is it, the second one. So let me just confirm that. On the SQL connection strings, note the interface includes connection strings for ADO.NET, JDBC, ODBC, PHP, and Go. Let's see if that's true. Yeah, so this is the ADO.NET tab, and this is the JDBC, ODBC, PHP, and Go. So you can just switch through these different tabs to get the different connection strings. and then record the ADO.NET SQL authentication connection string. You'll need it later, so I'll just copy this one. Wait, SQL authentication, so this is it, the second one to be specific. So we'll record, we'll just copy this entire code by using this copy shortcut. So I'll copy that, and then back to my notepad here. I'll just have this as the SQL ADO.NET connection string. So I'll paste it there as it is. Then what's next? Step number 4, log on to the Azure Virtual Machine running Visual Studio 2019 and SQL Management Studio 19. In this task, you will log into the Azure Virtual Machine which deployment you initiated in exercise 1. This Azure Virtual Machine hosts Visual Studio 2019 and SQL Server Management Studio. So this SQL Server Management Studio is the one that you can use to manage the databases. And then as for the Visual Studio 2019, I guess that's for coding purposes, just to come up with the schemas for this database. So we need to navigate to where the virtual machine is. That is what you have to do on the step 1 instruction. Then the next thing to do is identify the VM1, AZ500 VM1, and then on that blade, on the essentials pane, take note of the public IP address of this VM. So let's just go there. I'll close this. We can easily access virtual machines. Just type virtual machines at the top. Click on that option. So you only have a single VM, at least for my case here. I'll click on that entry. Can go to full mode. Then under essentials, this is the essentials. This cell place. Actually, under this block right here, that's the essentials. So we need to identify the public IP, yeah. And the public IP, this is it right here. So just click on this to copy the public IP. It will be different, of course, in your case, but that's what you need to record. So I'll just go back to my notes here and record on virtual machine public IP. Say public IP here. I think we had some recording here. Okay, I'll just record it down here. Public IP, and I'll say the public IP is that. Okay, so what can close up lid.